This film was made through a novel participatory hand map storytelling method to explore the meaning of identity among people who live in places like Delft. Throughout this process, we worked together with the Delft Safety Group to understand more about the ways that intersecting inequalities have informed their identities and affected their lives. This work forms part of our wider participatory research with the Delft Safety Group, examining what blocks and what builds accountable relationships in contexts of violence and insecurity.
We as community leaders are passionately driven, but find ourselves in the most life-threatening situations while doing crime prevention within our community of Delft.
One night when I came from a friend's house, it was about past 9. I walked down the road and I saw my neighbor's grandson standing in the corner. And he was whistling and I thought, okay, he's just minding his own business. And as I just wanted to go over to my road, I heard a sound behind me and it was like a clack clack sound. And I just heard a loud voice say, do it. It's like, do it. And I was like standing still, I thought to myself, hey, what's happening here? And I looked around and I saw that I'm alone in the road. And then my mind like went blank and I thought, do those people want to kill me or what? And I thought, Lord, if this is my time, then it's my time. But I'm not going to go out without a fight. But I didn't know where I got the strength from, and I turned around and I looked at them. And then my neighbor's grandson was standing with 3 other young boys, each one with a gun in their hands. And I thought, this young boys growing up in front of me want to kill me. And I shouted, hey, what do you want to try? What are you trying to do? Do you want to kill me or what? But if you want to kill me, then just do it in my face, don't do it behind my back. And they were so scared and they ran away. And I thought, what's happening? But then I went back. I went to my house. But I was scared. I was like, my heart was like beating 2 times fast. And I went into my house and I thought, this never happened to me before. Never in my life, as long as I work in our community. Never happened. After the incident, I was more vigilant when I walk in the road. I stopped working in my community. I spend all the time with my kids because I don't know when and where will it happen again.
Hi, my name is Ashraf. I stay in Roosendaal, Delft. In my area there's a lot of gangs. There's 2 main gangs, the Terribles and the Dixie Boys. We have endless problems with these people, with these gangsters. We as Unity Neighborhood Watch patrol the area, but that one day 2 years ago, there was all hell broke loose. There was shooting and we ran out to go see what happened. Me and my wife, also part of Unity Neighborhood Watch, was first on the scene and one of our other members. We cordoned up the area where there was 20 cartridges laying. One of the guys, a Dixie boy, got shot. He was laying at the back of the yard, bleeding with a gunshot in the leg. My wife attended to him. As we were busy, we were cordoning off the place, putting up the red tape, putting stones where the cartridges was, and everything was done. Then we phoned SAP, South African Police Service, so they can come and do their work. But as they came, they disregarded us. We all had our jackets on, so it wasn't that they didn't see us. They came and they drove right through the tape over the cartridges. We were manhandled by them. They threw us off like we were dogs in front of the community. And that frustrated us, and it made us so cross that most of the guys left. From that, we made a case against SLFs of the members that was on the scene, but nothing happened about it. We asked him what's going to happen about the case, and he said nothing. I grew up in an area where it was gangsters. That was again the Mongrel gang where I grew up. So we know if they're shooting, we know what to do. But now we have at least CPF, but that time there was no active CPFs. But at the moment now we do have active CPF, and we're busy working with SLFs to create a more friendly and better environment. It will take time, but we will get there. They will come to the party. Hopefully.
On Saturday the 11th of March 2017, after 8 p.m. in the evening, as I was leaving my parents' place, death stared me in the face. I started the van to drive home. As I put on the lights of the van, I just see two guys coming around the corner, taking out their guns and started shooting at me. My foster child and I was alone in the van at the time. I don't remember exactly what happened. Those few minutes felt like hours. My body was shaking, my hands were sweating, and I had a burning sensation on my stomach. Without even thinking, I put on my brights, stepped on the pedal, wanting to drive those thugs dead. I don't know where I got the courage from. When I reached the corner, I hit the one guy against a vibrate wall. And as I'm about to change the gears, I looked up and I recognized those guys. They were known to me. In a split second, they were both gone. For a moment there, I froze, and I recall Ibi saying, "Ma, that wasn't firecrackers." It's only then reality kicked in. I reversed the van, got out at my parents' place, and only then realized I wet my pants. After several attempts to report the incident, till today nothing has become of the matter. Not long thereafter, those two guys committed 2 murders in our area, and they are both now in jail. This incident happened in my hometown, where I've been living for 24 years, and never ever have I felt so unsafe and insecure. Those guys drove the worst fear I've ever experienced in my life. Without even realizing the effects the shooting incident had on me, I now do not get behind a wheel. I do not drive anywhere. I depend on others to drive me around. I cannot drive myself to work, pick up my kids from school, or even drive myself to the shopping mall. Above all the trauma I've experienced, I believe things could have been different if I received police assistance and counseling.
We as community leaders are the voice of our community. Therefore, we are reliant on proactive partnership with our community policing forum, street committees, neighborhood watches and the South African Police Service towards ensuring visible policing, accessible trauma counseling for victims of violence, efficient and friendly police services to community at large. We are, however, daily challenged by poor police service and are exposed to threats from gangsters who sees us as the enemy that switched on them.